What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. Right now, I feel like $100,000.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Wise here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders like the founders you've heard of, some you've never heard of, like the founder of P90X, Tony Horton. He talked about how he made money as a street mime. Okay, that's how he'd make money, his food and rent money. He'd put a hat on the street, do street miming, and that's how he made money before he sold hundreds of millions of dollars of the P90X programs. Baby Einstein founder Julie Clark talks about growing her company to $20 million with 5 employees, selling it to Disney. But Ed, you'd appreciate this. You know, the most important and I thought most impactful was she did this and she beat cancer twice while starting and running these companies. Atari founder Nolan Bushnell talked about when he was Steve Jobs' mentor. Steve offered Nolan 33% of Apple for $50,000 and why he said no. Imagine that, and many more. So check out InspiredInsider.com. And this episode is brought to you by Rise 25, which I co-founded with my business partner, John Corcoran. And at Rise 25, we help B2B businesses connect to their Dream 100 clients and referral partners, and we help you run your podcast so it generates ROI. And for me, Ed, podcasting is much more personal. I mean, obviously, it's the best thing I've done for my business and my life. Had, amazing relationships, referral partners, strategic partners, but it was inspired by my grandfather, who was a Holocaust survivor. And him and his brother were in concentration camps in Nazi Germany. And they were only members of their family to survive. And his legacy lives on because the Holocaust Foundation did an interview with him and to tell his story. And he's not alive anymore, but I could still watch that interview, and I put it on my About page, actually, on Inspired Insider, to motivate me and it just helps him leave a legacy. So yes, podcasting helps your business, but it really helps you and your guests leave a legacy beyond what we can do. And so our brain power doesn't vanish into the ether. So if you have questions about it, you can go to rise25.com or email us support@rise25media.com. And I believe any business should have a podcast, period. And I know Ed has a podcast. You'll check it out too. And Ed, let me just introduce Ed for a second before we chat, because just a jack of all, really a master, not jack of all trades, a master of many trades. Ed Clay is a former professional mixed martial arts fighter turned fighter of end-stage cancer. Through the CHIPSA Hospital, he started in Mexico, and the United Cancer Centers, which are in the U.S. And at one point, he was ranked as high as number 9 in the world, ran one of the largest mixed martial arts schools in the United States. And he would say, I've heard him say he's a better coach than an actual fighter, but so I can't imagine how good a coach you are based on that. But some of his students have been in the Ultimate Fighting Championships. His clothing brand Gameness was acquired in 2011 and was one of the largest suppliers of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu martial arts uniforms in the world. And in 2015, he partnered up with Nelson and Deddrick Perry, and they acquired CHIPSA Hospital in Tijuana, Mexico. And they took cancer management head on. They brought conventional and alternative science of medicine. I know people drive and fly from all over the US and even world to go to their center because of the combinations of conventional alternative they bring together to attack cancer from all angles. And Ed also started United Cancer Centers, which help the sickest cancer patients around the United States, and has put together a team of some of the most experienced doctors, scientists, and researchers. If you go to UnitedCancerCenters.com and check out the team, it's just, I don't even know how he got these people to say yes. And he's going to tell me how. But Ed, thanks for having me. Ed, thanks for for being with me.
Thanks for having me on.
I always ask, since it's Inspired Insider, 2 questions. One, what's been a low moment, challenging moment that you had to push through? And then on the flip side, what's been a really proud moment for you?
Gosh.
What's been especially challenging time that you had to push through?
Yes. I mean, I think when we first opened CHIPSA, we all left our lives to do this. So, I mean, in Nashville, I have a great life. My home, it's called East Ivy Mansion. I sold Nashville mixed martial arts. I had sold my clothing line, just kind of hanging back, and left everything, all my friends and family in Nashville, to go live in Tijuana. And getting the hospital open for those first 6 months was extremely difficult. We lived in the hospital because we want to know everything about running a hospital, from cleaning the toilets to properly cleaning the OR room to cleaning the ICU. I mean, we're a full service hospital now with over 200 employees. So, I mean, but to do that, we felt like we needed to know everything. And, really the first patients, I've seen some sad things as far as, patients dying. And that really took me, patients dying alone, with no family that might not even want to be with them. And so sitting with those patients at the end of their life and, just trying to, in a way, express love during the end, I get emotional talking about that. It's just so deep. People don't even realize, that impact that it can have on you, like being with somebody dying that doesn't have anybody. And then I think to myself, oh my God. So I have them in the ICU. Let's say they're not even paying. Like we're making sure they stay here. They don't have friends or family. They're in the ICU. How do you give them, let them die with some dignity, and those were some of the hardest times for me, coming to terms with the importance of dying with dignity and dying with people around me. If it's a disease at the end, you get a car wreck, it's different, but like if I'm dying, I don't want to die alone. And so that had a big impact. I mean, I think that can change you as a human being. I could probably have a whole podcast on the learnings of that. Actually, just thinking about it, bringing me back to those moments. So yeah, whenever I hear those stories of people being left by their families or whatever, that's all. Those are the hardest ones for me. Because we really love people. It's like it's heartbreaking. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Gosh, the best times are when we get clear scans. I mean, which is a lot. We get these clear scans from patients, and someone comes in and we see this. They come in a wheelchair, they leave walking. I mean, seeing that over and over again. Those are big celebratory times, and it's really like knowing in those moments that you're giving people more life and more time with their family. That is, that's priceless there as well.
What was a clear scan that maybe sticks out to you with, I don't know if it was a special young person or a certain case that you thought, wow, I can't believe we actually accomplished this?
Sure. Yeah. I would say a lady named Charlotte Trainer. She was actually a friend of the family. So anytime I have family members or friends of the family, it's like, it's a little more personal, obviously. And so she didn't do any low dose chemotherapy or anything. She was 72 years old. The doctor had given her 6 months to 12 months to live with high dose chemotherapy at that age, which seems crazy. And she came in and we did some cryoablation to her original surgery site. With the idea that she still would have tumor antigens there, and those antigens would give antigen presentation to the rest of the body. So if there was cancer in other parts of the body, it would theoretically eat it up. We cryoed her liver as well. She had a met on her liver. We couldn't get to the spot on her lung, or the spots on her lung. And about, 2 months later, so it's 3-week treatment, no chemotherapy at all. Lots of immunotherapy, Coles, VG5000, Apatone, and 2.5, 3 months later, completely clear scan. And it was in October 2 years ago, so about 2 years and 4 months ago, and she's still alive today.
Wow. Ed, I want to be the first one to thank you. Thanks for sharing this. Thanks for doing what you do. Everyone check out unitedcancercenters.com. Check out chipsahospital.org. Thanks again.
Oh, thank you so much, Jeremy. Thank you.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like $100 grand.